Okay, today I just wanted to do a video on pricing and niching of products. Now, a lot of people think niching has to do with finding a very particular product that goes for a sort of a small genre, but actually you can use the term niching for a lot of things when it comes to marketing, and you can actually niche anything. What I mean by that, I'm going to kind of show you with this particular product here in Razer Deathadder Gaming Mouse. Now, the reason why I'm using this one as an example is because there's a wide range for the pricing field of this item. You'll see in a second here when I go in and show you sort of the completed item history. Now, a lot of I've seen sort of how new sellers look at pricing, and often they just don't understand how pricing works. Okay, you can see here, you can see a really cheap one, $37. You can even see cheaper. I've seen it as low as 15, but there's obviously different variations. There's old versions. There's ones that could be potentially fake, all this kind of stuff, right? But see, check this out. I mean, look at this, $7,000, right? So what's going on here, right? I mean, this is a one product. We're talking about a mouse. I mean, what in the world, right? Well, actually, what's going on here is this is one of the best gaming mouses in the world, and as a result, some people want to pay a lot of money for it. I've seen them sell it for $200 and such. I don't know if they actually sold me for $6,700, even though it shows a green price, which means a sale, because they took a bunch of offers and such, so I don't know how much they sold each one for. It could have been $500, who knows. But I know from seeing history of this item before, I've seen it sell for $200. Here's one for $115, and I'm sure this one's probably got a couple hundred at least on a couple sales. And you can see down here, this is over 100 if you add in the shipping. Over 100, over 100, about 100. And then it goes down, obviously, and you see other pricing and such. And what I wanted to get at is, usually when I show a person this product, because I have it in my drop ship, for example, some people are like, well, you only can sell it for $45 or something like that. But actually, what it comes down to is knowing how to market and knowing that there's niches with a product. There's even niches with a product. The niching can be done by category and keyword. Okay, in this case, we have a left-handed version, which is extremely rare. Having this rare feature would make it worth a lot more, and that's where they're able to get a lot more money. In other ways, what you do is you find a guy selling it for a high price, and you see what type of terminology they're using compared to those who are selling it for a low price. And if you see a word or two, a couple words that the guy with the higher prices is using in his title, you should use those same terms to separate yourself from the cheap guys. And I think in this case, when I looked at some of the cheap ones, they never said the terms essential gaming mouse. And, things like this. I've also noticed when it comes from Japan, or if they say it's a Japanese version. So you can see sort of different tricks like this. And, I just wanted to kind of point out some of this. Obviously, the 2013 version is a very good version, or otherwise it wouldn't be selling for a higher price. Okay. And so you want to avoid, obviously, words that would make it sell for a lower price as well, like especially if you have that version. Okay, now we're going to look at lowest priced. I wanted to kind of show you the difference, and you'll actually see some for extremely low prices. Okay, now there's actually no difference with this term here, 3500 DPI, which is obviously a feature of it. You see here, 3500 DPI, $6,700, $10. It's kind of amazing, isn't it, when you look at it that way? What I noticed, though, is this guy doesn't know what the hell he's doing, okay? He's selling it for an extremely low price, so what you want to do is you want to avoid certain terms that he's using that no one, that seem to stand out. You definitely don't want to use the same type of photos either. You want to distance yourself from him. You see what I mean? and you want to take up keywords that these guys are using uniquely on the higher price end. And this is a way to be able to sell at a high price and make more profits. You could even double, triple, quadruple your profits on some items if you do things like this. Okay? Instead of making $2, you could be making $20 or $40 in a sale. Instead of having to sell 20 of that one particular item because you don't know how to price properly, you can sell one and make the same amount of money. See what I'm getting at? So obviously this is advantageous and worth your time. And this is why it's also better to be very scientific when you list items, and don't list too many items at a time, and just, kind of find the items that sell quickly over and over that you can maximize profit on. Because if you do this, you can get so much farther ahead with profit. If you just slap up 100 items, it's just random, and you might not make very much money. And especially if you're not analyzing what you're doing, you're almost like wasting your time. You're almost like setting forth, in granite, sort of what your wage is going to be, which is going to be low. But if you take, instead of that type of approach, you take sort of a slow approach, trying to find that item that really sells fast, that has good profit range, and then cranking the profits, and then going on to the next item. That way you're able to actually maximize your money, maximize your profits. So, it's kind of amazing how this item goes all over the place like this. But there actually are a lot of items like this. And sometimes it's not, different variations even. Sometimes it's like new, new other. And this is one of the keys to a really good dropship product. This is one of the methodologies I teach. There's actually about 5 methodologies I teach. And this is one of them. Like new, new other. In some cases, you'll have the exact same item, and one person will look at it and say it's like new, the next person will say it's new other. And the new other will get a much higher price than a like new. But there are some people that, I guess, they're too honest with themselves, and they're saying, this is like new. And then there's others that are realists and like, look, man, it's just been open, still new other. So when you sell it at new other. When you buy it from someone else, you buy it like new. But you make sure the like new is the same as the new other, meaning it's just new open box, and they put it in as like new. I've seen printers where you can actually make $200 in one sale doing this, where it will be listed as like new in Amazon, and when it's in the like new category, it's a very low price, maybe $200 or $150, and then when it's new other, we're talking $350. Okay? And it's all about perception. That one person that put it as like new should have put it as new other because it really was new other. But they're just the type of mentality that they say, well, that's not new. But see, you could take advantage of that. You could sell it as new other on eBay, go buy it from that guy as like new, and make $200 in one sale. I've done things like this many times. I've done it with microwaves. I've done it with, I've done it with microwaves at like a 200 profit range. I've done it with printers. I think I've done it with some expensive mixers, KitchenAid mixers. I've done it with various things like this. So you can do stuff like this. And the same is the case with this item. Okay? Even though we're talking about titling here, this item right here might be the exact same item as this one. You see what I'm getting at? But because of how he titles it, because of how he presents the advertisement, because he uses a manufacturing photo, and this guy, he's using a certain box. Now, keep in mind, this guy screwed up. I can tell you what it is. This guy's just an idiot, doesn't know how to price anything, and he just slaps this thing up because he's got 1,000 of them and he just wants to get them out the door. But he probably could sell them for $45 instead of 13, but he's just an idiot. You see what I mean? This is what I'm talking about. And you want to distance yourself from these idiots because they don't know how to price. And you don't need to fall for this this simple-mindedness. A lot of sellers think that if someone sells it for a low price, you need to lower your price. No. The perceived value of this item is really high. Some people are willing to pay $100. Some are even willing to pay more. So if the perceived value is this high, you don't need to sell it for a low price, even if some other idiot's doing it. Okay? So the concept is to find a way to niche. You find keywords that these guys are using, that these guys are not using, and you use those. And you try to make yourself, model yourself after this guy, and you try to avoid looking like this guy so you can distance yourself. And this gives you, because there's two types of customers. This guy is hitting the cheap-ass customer, and this guy's hitting the quality customer. Now, the quality customer, when he sees this advertisement, he thinks it's bullshit. He thinks this must be a cheap-ass replica. Shitty thing that he's going to get pissed off when he gets it. That's what he thinks. That's what the quality customer thinks. Now, the cheap-ass, he thinks this must be the real deal. Hey, I'm saving money. The cheap-ass, when he sees this, he says, only idiots pay this. You see what I mean? So you got two types of customers, and we don't want the cheap-ass customer. Let Walmart have the freaking cheap-ass customer, because usually they're the ones that return items more often too, because they don't respect it because they didn't have to lay any money down. Okay? The guy who lays money down, he's already been sold. He's convinced it's good, what you're selling, before he even got it in the mail. He's already convinced the thing freaking is awesome. He spent his money, which proves he believes it. When he gets it, he's less likely to return it, even if there is something that's slightly what he didn't expect. But this guy, he didn't lay any money down, and he doesn't give a shit. You see what I'm getting at? So not only are you making more money, you're also avoiding returns more often as well. You might have a slightly smaller return rate when you sell to guys for a higher dollar amount. It's true. It's just like that concept. If you give your teenager a sports car, they don't respect it. They didn't have to pay any money for it, so they might flip the damn thing over. And matter of fact, in my high school, there was a girl like this. She had rich parents. They bought her an expensive sports car, and she freaking flipped it over the first time she drove it. She was speeding on dirt roads. What the hell? She's an idiot. You see what I mean? But she didn't pay a penny for it, so it didn't mean anything to her. So the less money they pay for it, the less they believe in it. And actually, this is a marketing concept they use. It's called reverse funnel, where if you can get someone to pay you $50 up front without even telling them what they're going to get, that means you already sold them, and they're willing to really lay money down, which means you could upsell something much higher to them. That's a completely different topic, but that's a way to weed out tire kickers as well in marketing. Okay, getting back to this, I mean, you can do this with any product. You'll see also categories. Like this might be in a category. Okay, he's in double categories, I think. No, he isn't. I'm sorry. He's in this mice, trackball, touchpads, right? And this guy might be in the same one. I don't know. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, he's in the same one. Okay, well, in some cases, what you'll find out is these guys that sell for a high price, sometimes they're in a different category as well, because sometimes that helps to get you distanced from, the cheap guys, the guys that don't know what they're doing. Let's see what this guy did. And of course, if it's a main, it's a main category. I mean, this item seems to be very narrowed on the categories. But, I mean, in some cases, you'll see products like that where sometimes a good way to get away from the cheap asses is to just be in a different category. And sometimes it might not even be about that. Sometimes it might just be you want to sort of expand your sales and get more sales. So if you listed more categories and then also brainstorm more keywords for your titles, and then vary your listings daily, you can start selling items daily. Okay? And I was really good at this. This is one of the main things I was doing on eBay. I paid eBay $4,000 a month every month for like 8 years, which is about almost $500,000. Is how much money I paid them in advertising money to sell on there. Okay? And it's because I was doing Dutch auctions, category featured, and I was keyword going crazy with the keywords and the categories, and I was listing I was listing only a few items, but I was like listing them like crazy because I spent all my time trying to figure out how to maximize titles, maximize use of key categories, maximize the amount, the time of day to sell, which, by the way, for most items is between 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is the best time to list and have an item end. And of course, on the weekends, it's a slightly better sale than on the weekdays. But the point is like I would have competitors that sometimes I didn't want to fight with them because, like, I sold this thing called a TV projector kit. I didn't want to fight with them because we were fighting over the same pie and we were fighting over the same customers. There's like 4 of us, and it's like, I was realizing that, I'm losing sales. I'm still spending the same amount of advertising. This is retarded, right? Fighting with 3 other guys, right? So what I did is I diversified. I started selling in categories that they weren't selling in because they were too lazy to look for other categories. I started using keywords they weren't thinking about, and my sales went double again. And then I started selling to other countries because they weren't doing it, and I actually made a lot of money selling to other countries. Like, you can sell to Canadians, especially if it's a cheap item to ship to them. So, there's a lot of factors like that a lot of people don't realize that you can take into consideration when you're trying to price and title and all these things when you're on eBay. And, I mean, you can see how you could actually literally model after one of these guys, list it on eBay for $89, and literally turn around and buy it from one of these dudes and ship it to your customer. And you don't even have a product. And you did it all on eBay. You didn't even have to be on Amazon to eBay, straight eBay to eBay. Okay, you can actually do that. But you have to be sort of careful as well. Make sure they don't send a receipt with the pricing and all that on there and such. But and you have to make sure it's the exact same thing. Obviously, there's different variations of this particular product here. But, I just wanted to kind of talk about pricing. And, a lot of people, they just assume as soon as they see a low price, oh, shit, I can't make a profit. No, man, no. And sometimes I've had products where I had the price too low and it wouldn't sell, and I made the price higher and it sold. So there, once in a while you'll have a product that sells better because you have the price higher. It's kind of weird sounding, but it's true. Because people think it's worthless if it's too low of a price. And maybe there's too many quality customers and no cheap asses. So if there's no cheap asses, they won't buy it at a low price. They'll only buy it at a high price. So it sounds kind of weird, but it's true. And anyways, you don't want to sell to cheap asses. They're not worth your time. So you can see, though, a lot of these sold for higher prices. Okay? 74, 72, even. I mean, and you can go buy this thing on Amazon for, well, let's go look real quick. Amazon. Okay, just a sec. It'll get there eventually. Razer Deathadder. Right? And this is just one product. But if you find products that have variation, wow, the price has changed. Interesting. See, the price fluctuates a lot on this, which is good. It's very good that prices fluctuate on certain products. That's actually another way to really make a lot of money in dropship is when you have items that go in and out of stock and the price is going up and down, or just huge price fluctuations. This is where you can make a lot of money in dropship. Okay, but you can get the item right here for $43.50, right? And I'm sure there's some guys that actually have it cheaper in here. Right here, $35, right? And we saw over here for 15, and then you could turn around and sell for 72. You saw, and that's just one item. And matter of fact, I offer it to you guys. What is it that I charge? Just a sec. Yeah, my price is $27. I mean, of course, I don't know if this is the same version as this one over here, but the one I sell is the blue lighted one anyways. This shows blue and this just shows green here, but actually I saw blues up here. Oh, you got actually variation colors there. I saw blues up here at high prices. Yeah, here we go. I mean, so it's not really a big deal on the color. Actually got blue for some ridiculous price here. But, what I sell is real deal and no problems. I don't know exactly if this is the exact same thing or if this is just some cheap ass, I don't know. But with just my price, I mean, if you pay me like under $30 and you can sell it for freaking $80, $90, you're making a lot of money. So, and I just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about pricing here so that you guys can get an idea how I think about it.